So Karmanya, are you having some exams today?
No, ma'am. Only the IPM exam, maths.
Maths. So you are in the 12th now.
Yes.
So were you able to do any of the exercises?
Yes, I've done till type 4
Type 4, okay.
and
So,
then the word meanings that you gave.
right. So did you find any problem in the exercises?
Yes,
Any
I have
doubts?
4 doubts.
Okay. I think I can take your doubts till the other people come in.
So the first one is from type 1, question number 3 itself.
Question number 3.
Yes.
So yeah, even I had a little doubt on that. Just a moment, I'll share the screen so you can. Yeah. So now in question number 3, there is a little hitch. So sorry, type 1 question 3, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there was a little hitch there. So if you see now, what was your problem with this? Let me hear your doubt first.
I think the option should be E. Option E, only B.
Only B.
But at the end it is given all are correct.
Which are correct. Yeah, it now here the problem in this question was that the options given are not exactly what we are thinking about, right? Say, I think you would say that C would also be incorrect.
Yes, I think
Right?
do should not come there. Words not only have meanings, but
One more.
also have associations.
Yeah, words do not only have meanings, it should rather be words do not, yeah, it would rather be, this part is incorrect. It says words do not only have meanings. Instead, what would you say?
Like it should be words not only have meanings,
Not only
or
have.
it can be after the comma, it can be a but, like but also have associations.
So you don't need but because you already said words not only have meanings. Yeah, so it will become a double affirmative if you put that in. So you don't need that. But now here the problem is that we don't have any of the options which say, like if you see, A is correct. Now here your question was mark the ones which are correct. Yeah. If
Yes.
you are so A is correct.
No, I didn't find it correct.
Okay, so what is wrong in A?
I didn't find the grammar right. I think
Every language has a lot of different words with similar but slightly different meanings. Now, grammatically, if I see, maybe the sentence structure could be improved, but grammatically as such, is there any flaw in this, any error? No, right? Grammatically, there's no error. So we can't eliminate this. So this is correct. Now, if we come to B, yeah, we are discussing the type 1 questions. So if you have any doubts, you can then. So if you look at B, do you think it is correct? Words are used with each other in fairly fixed ways in every language. So grammatically, there's no error, right? Now C, we may say there is an error, and I think C would be wrong. But Now, if you look at D, at an advanced level of any language, it is important to develop an impression of what connotations certain words have. Here also, there is no grammatical error as such, right? So now coming,
but then the wordiness of in D.
which one?
In D, there are more words, right? So it's a wordy sentence.
Yeah, it is. No, here the thing is that you're not improving on the sentence. You just have to identify the sentence which is correct or incorrect. So these type of questions you only have to identify. So if there is a grammatical error, you identify that, right? Now, if we come to the options in this, now these are the type of questions that may come up in IPM, right? So you think it is, you have a different answer, but the options are not giving you that answer. So you will go with the option which is the best possible one. And if you are doubtful about it, leave the question, right? So here, if you see, you have A only. Now we found that A is correct, right? A and C. Now we can't go with A and C because A is correct. Maybe we think C is not correct, right? Now A, B, and C obviously won't be an answer. Now we are left with what? All of the above are correct or only B is correct. So now if you see, now all of the above are correct, we can go with. Now only B is correct is also not proper because others are also correct. A and B are also correct, right? So now we come back to C and analyze a little more. If you see, words do not only have meanings, they also have association. Here it is a case of redundancy, right? Now we don't have any option as such which will eliminate C, right? So in that case, we will go with the closest possible, that is all of them. Because we know A, C, A, B, D are correct, right? So this question is a little tricky. I had even actually marked it when I was doing it yesterday. Okay, any other? Which other do you have problem in? So do you have any doubts?
For the second one,
Yes,
forecasted for tomorrow. Is this sentence grammatically incorrect?
Type 1, number 2.
The second B1 sentence, is this grammatically incorrect?
Fair weather.
Yes.
Okay, fair weather is forecasted for tomorrow. It is correct. Grammatically, it is correct.
But in the answer behind it is given that only A is correct, rest all are wrong.
Actually, B would be correct, but there is, we can say A and B are correct. According to me, A and B would be correct here.
Yes, even I thought it's option E, but if you look at the end.
Because now one thing you have to see that if you think that now the options given at the back, sometimes it may happen that the options are wrong. Right? So if you have any doubt, you bring it up and we will correct it. Right?
So the answer is option E, right?
Yeah, we can go with the option E as the answer over there. Hello, good morning. Okay. So Karmane, you said you had some other doubts?
Yes. Type 3, question number 4.
Type 3, question number 4. Okay. Yes, girls. We are doing some doubts, so you can follow. Maybe you also would have had the same doubts, so would be coming up. Yeah, so we'll solve all your doubts. So here now, presently, if you have a doubt in type 3, question number 4, that's what we are discussing, right? Okay, so what is your doubt here?
This one, I think option C can not only to cut jobs and prices, but also
Okay,
to
so
reduce.
your what did you have to do? You have to rectify the underlined
The underlined
portion.
sentence. Yes.
Yeah. So now your present sentence says current economic conditions demand that we not only cut jobs and prices, but also reduce the rate of interest on clear deposits. Yeah. So your underlying question is that we not only cut jobs and prices, but to reduce, right? So now, according to you, which one should be correct?
Option C.
Option C. Option C says not only to cut jobs and prices. I will go with not only to. Current economic conditions demand that, right? So we do something, right? So when you say demand that, that means we are talking about the actions, right? So not only cut prices. So it is like we have omitted the do. So we not only cut prices, but also not only but also go together. That is correct. And the structure of the sentence, not only to cut jobs will be incorrect. Right?
Okay.
Okay, what else?
The next one as well. Type 3, question number 5.
Question 5. Okay.
I mean that it is written that they are normally. So is they specified who? I mean, can the option be correct option be C, such players, because it is defined that such players. So is C a better option or they is correct?
Okay, if we read the entire sentence, yeah. So we have to keep in mind that there's no repetition as such. So it says all-rounders in any cricket team, in theory, make good sense. In actuality, however, they are normally difficult to discover. So now, what do you think would be the right answer?
I think such players.
Such players would make a better option, I suppose. Such players are normally. So you are specifying about the all-round, right? They are
Yes.
normally a little more general. इधर ही रख दीजिए. So अगर I think if there's one more, two people, yeah. Right. Okay. So I think in this case, such players, you are right, would be a better answer. It is more specific. Yeah. So they are is not really wrong, but if you are talking about improving on the sentence, such players would be better.
Thank you.
Any other?
No,
Anything in type 4?
I have not
No?
attempted it yet.
Okay, fine. So Aditya, any other doubts?
No, ma'am.
No? Okay, Nishi, Sneha and Adesh, any doubts? Manya,
No, ma'am.
did you do any exercises from yesterday's lesson?
Yes, ma'am.
So which ones did you do?
On the second one.
Second one. So you got all of them.
Ma'am, the ones I didn't get, I was able to like correct them by seeing the answers from.
By seeing the answers.
Yeah, I
means-
got 2 incorrect.
Okay.
Yeah, I was able to correct them. I was able to get my mistake after I saw the answers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So, yeah. Type 1, fourth one. Okay, type 1, fourth one. I think we just do this. Type 1, number 4. Anyone else has a doubt in type 1, number 4? Anyone else? No? Okay, type 1, number 4. Let's see. Yeah. Now here you have to look for the correct one, right? So what is your doubt?
I thought that correct one is like only D, but obviously the option was not there. Then I thought that D and D both were correct. But according to the answers given, C is also correct. But I thought
Okay.
We had a light.
Yeah, that is there, but if you lightish dinner, like if you use it in, say, if you look at the options, all of them have C. Except A, except the first one. And only A is not correct. Yeah. So now lightish dinner we can use if we are in a conversation. Right? So it wouldn't be absolutely incorrect. It's not something that we use usually in writing, but in conversation we can use.
Not is B the correct sentence? Because I thought that it was correct, but according to the answer statement, it said that it's not correct.
So putting on different accentuals. What is accentual?
Not like having an accent, like British accent.
Yeah, no, accentual is used a little differently from accent. So putting on an accent would be correct, or has an accent, is very good at different accents. Yeah. Now accentuals is usually used in writing. Right. So when you talk about accentuals, it's usually related to, say, writing or poetry or something of that sort. Right. So here we will not go with accentuals, it will be accents. So in that way, we would not be correct.
The answer say all how can anyone be?
No, all of them are not correct. Number 4, right? Number 4, E, only B and C are correct. No, number 4, in fact, yeah, A is incorrect. Type 1, number 4, what's the answer given?
B.
D, no, that will be wrong. I should correct it. Oh, this is
Yes,
wrong.
all of this one.
Okay. No, then, yeah, actually, I think many of them I had edited it out, but perhaps when the printing came in, the old one was printed. So I was finding a lot of mistakes which were not correct. So number 4, the answer will be E, not D. Right? And whenever you find some discrepancies like this, please bring it to my notice so I can go back and correct it again. Right?
Now, even like, I just want to like, what is for type 1, third one? I type is correct.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, third one was also a little, like we just discussed it with Karun. Yeah? So in the third one, the problem here is that in your options, like which one would you think? I think according to me, C was a little incorrect. We would have corrected it. No, according to, so you had only B as correct. No, only B is not correct because if you see A is also correct.
Yes,
Yeah, A is correct. B is also not grammatically incorrect. Right?
but C and D are
If you look at D, at an advanced level of any language, it is important to develop an impression of what connotations certain words have. Grammatically, no, we can say that we can improve on it. But here we are looking only at the grammatical errors. So in this case, do you find any grammatical error
D.
in D? Not really, right?
Oh,
So A, B, and D don't have any grammatical error. Now, if you look at C, words do not only have meanings, they also have associations. Yeah. Now, we would not go with do not only have meanings. We would rather say,
words not only.
yeah, words not only have meanings, but in this case, we don't have the option of improving on it. Yeah. And if you go to the options, like this is a question that was there in one of the papers. So I picked it up from there, and the options as given to you, you don't have any option of eliminating C. Right? So in that case, you would go with all of them are correct, because in C, yes, we can improve on it. There is a redundancy error. But even if you keep it, I think if you don't have any other option, right? Because if you go with only B, then you will be eliminating A and D also. So that will not be a correct answer. Yeah. Okay, anyone else with any other issues? So what did you, which exercises did you do? You don't do any?
My
No.
type 4 is that.
Type 4 is left. Okay, so who hasn't signed? You haven't signed? You signed? Oh. Okay, now anyone did type 4? If no one has done, then I think we can do type 4 now. Yes?
I had a doubt in yesterday's one of the questions that we discussed. Most of the money was lost.
Yeah.
You told that most is used to quantify countable nouns, right?
Right, mostly.
But in this sentence, how is money a countable noun? It's uncountable, right?
Money, you can count money.
No, but you don't say that I have 5 monies. You say that I have 5 rupees or dollars.
Yeah, but you can count the amount of money you have.
Like even if we say that I don't have much money with me right now. Or
It depends upon the context also. Like what was the context here?
most of the money was lost.
Yeah, so most of the money, so you knew how much money you had. Right? So here it is not a general term. It is something which is specific. Right? When you talk about something specific, then you will go with most, that is, it is countable.
So in this sentence, much won't come.
No, much won't. Because if you look at the sentence itself, in the context of the sentence, you will be saying that yes, something, so much of money is lost and so much I still have. So that way you are still being able to count it. It is not too general, it's more specific. Right? If you find something specific, then you go with countable. If money comes in general terms, like the say if it is say the money that the economy is generating, so that you are not able to count. That is more general. There you will go with uncountable. Right? So it is depends more on there's no hard and fast rule as such. It depends more on the context of the sentence. Right? Okay. So now I think till type 3, many of you have done, some of you haven't. Okay, now another thing, type 3, before we discuss. Okay. Okay, type 2, number 4, anyone had a doubt? Type 2, number 4. Did you get your answer correct? No doubt in this, if anyone has done it? No? Your reasoning was okay? Yeah. Now, one thing you have to remember, any question you do, no matter what type, whether it is reading comprehension or grammar or sentence completion, anything. One thing you have to remember, whatever answer you get, it should be, you have to know the logic behind. So don't take a wild guess. If you get an answer, first figure out, is it logically correct? If it's logically correct, you are on the right track. If it is not logically correct, then leave it be. Right? Okay, so would you want to do type 4? So this is question number 1 of type 4. So here, what do you have to do? Read the directions. In each of the following sentences, 4 options are given. You are required to identify the best way of writing the sentence. So this is again sentence improvement, right? And you have to deal with the entire sentence. So the first one is, if he was to decide to go to college, one would recommend that he plan to do IPM Ahmedabad. Right? Option B. Why do you think option B?
Yes.
Right.
If we then very a sentence, if we go to decide go to college, one would recommend and we plan go to IIM.
Right. So if you look at
How
the
different it be plans?
now that he plan is okay because it is a hypothetical situation.
Plans.
Plan is okay. Yeah. So if he's actually doing it, then we can go with plans. Right? So everyone got the answer? This was the hypothetical situation. If you see, in fact, B is the only option which has were in it, if he were, right? And then what is the next thing you have to see? In a hypothetical situation, would, right? So these two are there, so B will be the answer.
Why would option D not be correct?
Option B is correct. D. Read D. Had he decided to go to college, one would recommend that he go to IIM.
In the event.
Okay, D. In the event that he decides to go to college. Let me see. One thing more that you have to keep in mind, concise. Right? In the event that he decides to go, that becomes a little long drawn out. So you would rather go with if he were to
Would
decide.
that statement be considered as
That is also hypothetical. It's not that it is something sure shot in the event that he decides. So we don't know whether he has decided or not. If he decides, so now if you go back to the sentence that you have, it says if he was to decide. Now we would rather correct this than change the format. Right? So if you change the format and go with D, first of all, it becomes too long. You're using too many words to say the same thing. So keep it short and clear. Okay, question number 2. Anyone get it?
Yes.
Except for
Option B.
you and I. Okay, this is another place where you get confused. Now, you and I. So,
You and me.
except
It should be
you
me
and
instead of I.
me. Right. Why?
Because here we are using like it's obvious, I think.
No, it's not really obvious. There are certain things that you have to consider.
Sentence you may use me and towards the end of the sentence use I.
Okay. So now here, right, we can do that, but that's not really logical explanation at the beginning of the sentence or end of the sentence. So if you read the sentence, except for you and I, everyone brought a present for the little birthday boy. Now, who is the main subject over here in this sentence? Yeah, so you, now when you are the subject of the sentence, yeah, you would be not I, you would be me. Right? So whenever you talk about yourself as one of the subjects, so here you are not even the main subject. Right? So when you are one of the subjects of the sentence, you would not say I, you would say me. Correct? So any sentence of this sort comes up, it will be me, not I. So in this case, your correct answer is
Maybe
D, D, right? Except for you and me. Okay, number 3. Quite a long.
Ma'am, can you give us 5 minutes to solve all these, like 3 of the questions, 3, 4, and 5, and then we can discuss?
We will come to the timing later,
Okay.
right? Presently, you have to work on your strategies. Learn the way to answer. You have to get you. First thing you do is get your answers correct. Then slowly in the next exercises, we will be doing timing. right? Okay, now this one, number 3. What's wrong here? 1, right? 1 reads, whenever you have 1, the next one should also be 1. It will not be 1 and u. So it will be 1 and 1 or u and u.
Option E.
Option E.
Option E.
1
right?
and 1.
So that's the only one which has 1 on 1. Yeah. But all the others have 1 he or you, 1 and you. So E is the only. So here, now if you see in this, sometimes you can get very long sentences, complicated long sentences. You don't really have to understand the meaning of the entire sentence. You just have to identify the error and look for the option which has corrected the error. That's all you have to do, right? Okay, number 4.
Ma'am, I think it's the second option because it says and possibly will never be able to pick up.
And possibly will never be able
Yeah.
to.
And it's the only option that has will never.
Yeah, and has not and possibly never will be. That can be improved too. Because of his tennis elbow. Now, if you look at A, why would you eliminate? Has not and possibly never, it is the same thing.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
because I think possibly it's important for this sentence to have will after possibly for it to be correct.
Possibly, yeah, it is saying something in affirmative. Yeah, so most probably he will not be able to do this. Yeah, or if you have would, that also could be, but here we are saying something with surety, right? Now, if you look at C, because of his tennis elbow injury, Limbagram has not been and possibly never would be able to pick up the bat again. That becomes a possibility, a hypothetical situation, right? Now, the sentence given to us is something which is more on the like it is just possibly never will. So we are saying with surety that we will never be able to do. So everyone here got it? Yeah. Okay. Number 5. Had he realized how close he was to failing, he would not have gone to the party. Now, here also, if you see, it is a hypothetical situation. Had he realized, so it will be followed with would. So here we have would. Option B. If he would have realized how close he was to failing, he would not have gone to that party. Now, if he would have realized and had he realized mean the same, right? So had he realized, is it wrong? No?
Ma'am, it's the B option, I think.
Why would you think it's B?
Ma'am, because it has would first of all, and it he would have not gone to the party. I think this is the correct part.
Yeah. Now, if you look at A, between the one that you have, or A is the same as the one that you have. It says now, except for the first part, had he realized how close he was to failing, yeah, he would not have gone to the party. So had he realized, that is also a hypothetical situation, right?
Yeah.
And If he would have realized, it's also the same thing, but we're using more words. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So if you look at the two sentences, it's the same. But the first one is concise, second one is a little wordy. So between the two, A doesn't have an error as such. So
But
you
so does not B. It's just about the words, like more and less words.
pardon?
The B sentence also does not have errors as such. It's just more or less number of words.
Errors. But here we are talking about sentence improvement. If your sentence is good enough, you don't need an improvement on it. Right? So between, now it's not that A will be always incorrect. A can be correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the sentence given to you, you have to see whether there is an error or not. If there is an error, you would improve on it. If you think it is correct, you would still see whether you can improve on it. Now in this case, B means the same, but it is a little word. Right? So it gives you a definite hypothetical situation, but A as it is also a hypothetical situation. So you would rather keep A than go with B. Right?
Ma'am,
Yes.
I had it out in the type 3 second question.
Type 3 second question. Okay. Yes, girls, what's the problem? Okay, type 3 second question. So here we have. Now your underlined portion is completing the physical examination. The tonsils were found to be diseased. Yeah. So what is the error over here? Anybody? Can anyone explain this one?
It's a dangling modifier.
It's a modifier, right? So completing the physical examination, the tonsils. So did the tonsils complete the physical examination? No, right? So what would your option be? What would be a better way of saying this? You chose B. Having completed the physical examination, the tonsils were found to be diseased. Yeah, we can go with that.
And what about C? Why is C incorrect?
When the physical examination was completed, the tonsils were found to be diseased. So according to me, actually, C would be a better answer because it gives clarity. When completed, having completed the physical examination, again is giving you the modifier error, right? So you are not bringing in clarity. So when the physical examination was completed, whoever did it, the tonsils were found to be diseased. I think C would be a better. So is B the option given in the answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So B will not be the answer, C will be the answer.
And also, ma'am, when we use the countries like United Kingdom or United States, we had the before it. Right?
Yeah.
The United Kingdom or the United States.
See, when you have any name which has, it's a compound name, right? So the compound name as in when you are using two words to describe it. So the Republic of China, the United States. So when you have a compound name like that, you would be using the in front of it.
So
or you're talking about something specific.
In the type 2 fifth question, B is also incorrect, right? The sentence B.
Type 2 fifth question. Of the United Kingdom. Yeah, I think it should be incorrect. No, but UK. But when you talk about United Kingdom, you don't usually use the in usage. You just
So then is C incorrect? Because C is using the.
so identify the incorrect sentences. It began with accusations. The number 5 you're talking about, right?
Yes, ma'am. Because either B or C is incorrect.
Type 2 number 5. It began with acquisitions in the information technology and related service sector. Services sector. So I think services sector we don't really say, we say service sectors or service sector, right? So it began with acquisition. So do you think it is correct?
Yes, ma'am, because IT and related services is one term that is used together, like IT and RS.
Now here we are talking about two things, the information technology and related sectors. Right? So
No, it's like bread and butter, ma'am. Two things which are used together invariably.
when you're talking about it began with acquisitions in which sectors? Right?
IT and RS, like information technology related.
In the IT and related sector.
Yes, ma'am.
So I think the will be correct over here. We shouldn't be eliminating the. But if you look at the rest of the sentence, maybe, yeah, services sector. We are talking about two sectors, IT and services. So I think the will not be incorrect. Right?
Ma'am, but what about for United Kingdom? Like in the B sentence, they haven't used the
In
and C
pharmaceutical.
sentence they have used the.
Okay. Now, if you look at the sentence, the way it is written, in pharmaceuticals, Wokat has brought CP Pharma of United Kingdom. Now, if you look at the context, you're talking about a country and your main subject is CP Pharma. Yeah? CP Pharma of United Kingdom will not be incorrect. It depends upon the usage. Now here what we are talking about is not like if you are using the, it should always be the, it is not like that. Depends upon the usage of the word in the sentence. Right? So in this case, in pharmaceuticals, Wokat has bought CP Pharma of United Kingdom will not be incorrect.
Yeah. And the leading sentence,
Which one? C.
yeah.
Tata Tea has taken over Tetley of the UK. Okay, yeah, this has the world largest tea brand.
So something is wrong, right? Either one of the two is wrong. We're talking both.
So if we go with using the, then I think we should have the, if you're not going, because the second sentence also has the. If the second sentence didn't have the, then we could say that of United Kingdom would be correct. But if both are using UK and one has the other doesn't have, then I think we should go with B also as incorrect. Right? So what was the question here? Identify incorrect sentences, right? Yeah. So in this case, you would go with B and D as incorrect.
Okay, ma'am.
Right? So here you can rectify the option. It is B and D. Right? So everyone can mark as in type 2 number 5. Yes, girls, I am teaching here and maybe you have the same doubt. Don't come up with the same doubt again later. So have you done type 2 number 5? So what was your answer? Here we have a doubt which Aditya brought up and his doubt is valid. So in type 2 number 5, your correct answer will not be D only, it will be B and D. Right? So you had a doubt. Right. So it will be B and D, not only D. Yeah, you will be using the. So in this case, since both the sentences are using the UK, so we'll be going with the UK. Yeah, the same subject comes in. right? Okay. So now we'll move on to, so any other doubts in this particular exercise? No? Okay, exercise 2 you have to do for homework. It is still for homework if you haven't done it. So by next Sunday, I think we should be able to finish this.
Because later when we are actually correct and the answer should be correct.
Yeah, so that's why I said, if you have any doubts, you find any discrepancies in the given answer with yours, bring it up. Yeah.
Sometimes I am actually wrong, sometimes I am right with the answer. also.
Yeah,
But
that
very
can,
important.
because many of the answers that we have found, because these are questions we have taken from various books, various sources. And I have verified some of them I have not. So any discrepancies that come up, please bring it. Yeah. So we
Because
can,
there are many.
yeah, of course, there are many, that's the
Then like the
problem.
previous sections when we were doing the grammar portion.
Yeah, there are first. Okay, now we come to. Now this exercise 2 you will be doing for homework, and I'll also do check if there is the answers are correct or not. Okay, now coming to session 12. I suppose it's session 12. No. Sorry, it's session 10. Session 10.
Correction. Section 10 of
Right. Now session 10 we'll do a little here, and the rest of them you will be doing for homework. Yeah. So there are about how many exercises? So here you have. We have 5 exercises here, right? So we'll do 1 or 2 right now, and then you can continue. So that those exercises are for self-practice. And another thing, when you are doing those exercises, you will be timing yourself, right? So when you're timing yourself in the grammar questions, how much time do you give to yourself? Per question would be more or less, not 1 minute.
It's hardly what
30 seconds. You should be able to complete grammar questions in 30 seconds. Yeah,
Isn't that too less?
pardon?
Isn't that time too less? Like 30 seconds, it's
It is not less, because when you see the overall timing of your paper, if you have to solve, say, 45 questions in 40 minutes. Yeah, so you get less than a minute for each question. Now, grammar questions are the ones you can solve in the least time. So if you keep 30 seconds for your grammar questions, now as we move on, you will get more complicated questions when we come to sentence arrangement, paragraph in a paragraph, yeah, sentence completion and reading comprehension. Those take more time. So you have to save on your time in the grammar questions so that you have enough time for the others. Yeah. So 30 seconds is a maximum time you can give to your grammar questions. So as you practice, you will be improving in your timing also.
also depends on like how long these types of questions where we have to read all the things before that.
Yeah,
So
see,
one line don't take
One-liners will not take even 30 seconds. You can do it in about 50 to 20 seconds. A little long, 30 to 45 seconds maximum, but not 1 minute. 1 minute is for questions. Now, if you are like, they expect you to do 45 questions in 40 minutes. That's what Indore gave this time. Yeah. So, and they had the longer questions also, about 6 of para completion, 6 of para jumbles. And those take quite a lot of time because you have to really analyze, read everything properly, analyze. And they had long comprehensions. Long comprehensions where if you miss out on a point, you don't get to the answer. And they will not tell you this line or this paragraph. You have to go through the entire passage to find your answer. So that takes time. So grammar is the only set of questions where you save on time. So 30 questions per 30 minutes, sorry, 30 seconds per question. If you put in, so say you have 6 questions, divide your work into 6 questions, or say 10 questions, you can divide it. So that gives you a little better timing. So in 10 questions, you will be doing in 5 minutes. Yeah. So when you are practicing, take a bunch of 10 questions, put on your timer, and do them. And see if you are being able to. Now, ultimately, you will find that you can actually do them in 4 minutes. Yeah, it won't even take 5 minutes for 10 questions. So that is where your practice comes in. Time practice. Right? So when you are practicing, it won't be that, okay, I practice at my own pace. No. When you are practicing, you know the strategies, you know the types of questions, you have read the instructions, you will be putting on your timer and practicing. Right? Okay, so now we just move forward to these questions. Now, 5 questions, first 5 you do, and then we'll discuss. We won't do one by one. I think it's easier to do a bunch of questions. Right? Go on. So the first 5, as fast as you can. I'm not using the timer right now, but as fast as you can go with it. Done? Confused. Okay, let's see what your answers are.
On the second, it's very confusing. Like who was taking care of whose patient, whose mother was.
So here your objective is not to correct them, but just to identify. Yeah. Yeah. So here if you see, okay, now number 1, what's your answer? What's the answer to number 1? B. Why B?
Because your
All those. And then you come up with but. Yeah. So you can't use 2 transitions or contrasting transitions, especially in the same sentence. Right? Okay, number 2. Who's got the answer?
Unless the baby's mother called or the girl who was taking
So it says, okay, let's see who has got the answer for this. Yes, anyone? Nishi, Aditya.
I'm aware of.
Number 2
Yes.
was the answer.
I think it's aware of.
Aware of, which one are you doing?
Second one, right?
Yeah. She was taking care of her baby.
We are doing closed passage, right? Session 12.
Not session 12. Session 10.
Oh, I'm so sorry, ma'am. I started with the wrong.
No. We haven't reached that as yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Session, sorry, I think, yeah, I was referring to my old volume, so there it was session 12. The session 10, exercise 1.
Ma'am, I think it's the first option.
First option,
Yeah, not sure though.
was taking care of a baby for 2 hours. So what's wrong here?
Ma'am, it
Yes.
seems like there's something missing, but before she was called by her mother seems a complete sentence.
She was taking care of her baby for 2 hours. Now there are quite a few errors in this
Should
part.
it be for 2 hours?
Since 2 hours would be better, or she had been taking care of a baby since 2 hours. Yeah. And there is, if you go on with the sentence, now the first part we can say that she was taking care of her baby. Yeah. Now the second part, before she was called, now that we can still go with, because there's only one person over here and the other one is referred to as baby. Yeah. She was called would be okay. So here there is a structural grammatical error, the tenses error in the first part of the sentence. Okay, number 3, what's wrong?
And the first one, then he stopped coughing.
Huh?
No sooner
Than, right? No sooner than, no sooner did his teacher, when he stopped copying, I think no sooner did he see his teacher than he stopped copying. So the second part would be wrong. Right? Your answer would be no sooner than he saw his teacher. Number 3, according to me,
Ma'am, I think it's the first option. It should be saw, not see.
no sooner did he see his teacher. So the sentence is in the present tense,
Okay.
right? So
Yeah.
if you keep the sentence in the present tense, no sooner did he see his teacher, so then he stopped copying. No sooner than. So no sooner is paired with than, right? So if you have no sooner in the first part, the second part should have than. Got it? So your answer here would be B. Okay, number 4. Had you been to Mumbai, I would also go with you.
ma'am, I would have also gone.
Yeah, it would be I will also go.
I would have also gone, right? Had you been to Mumbai, so it is a hypothetical situation. So you can't say I would also go, I would have gone, right? Or also have gone. Number 5.
Ma'am, fastly is incorrect. There is.
Yeah. She ran so fast. That would be correct. Yes. What do you think? Number 5.
She ran so fast.
She ran so fast, not fastly. Fastly is wrong. It would be she ran so fast that she was able to catch the running bus. Right? So we will not go with fastly. Okay. Now you can do the others till number 10 and we'll get to them. Yes, I think you can do, instead of talking, you can continue with the conversation after the session. Yes, I think you can do it on your own. We can discuss later. Yeah, do your own work and see how much you can get. Hmm?
I have a doubt.
In the
Nine.
ninth, we come to it.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes,
So everyone done?
ma'am.
Hmm? So up there, everyone done? Okay, so number 6, what's your answer?
B.
B?
B.
But he never told me. That would be incorrect.
But he didn't.
But he didn't. Or he met me 2 days ago, but didn't tell me.
Yes.
So but he would also be a repetition. You would leave out he. Everyone up there, can you hear me? Clearly?
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, I just sat down. I'm having a little bit of a problem with my back. Right? As long as you can hear me. Okay, number 7, what would be your answer?
First.
Hmm? A, why? You too. So that's-
2 should not come in the 7th option, the first part. I would request you, it should be, and not request to you.
right. Okay, number 8. Noida.
The third one,
Ma'am,
see you,
see, yeah.
we see you in person.
So
I want to see you first.
we are looking forward to see you personally. You know, see, like if I say I will be in class in person, not personally, right? Personally is like you know somebody personally. You see somebody in person, right? So this will be the
Ma'am, what if
Okay.
we are looking forward to seeing you personally? That is wrong.
that is wrong. That's what we just said. To first of all, it will be seeing you and in person.
Seeing you in person, but we
Yeah.
like seeing you.
Yeah. it's good. Okay, number 9.
See.
I'm the first one.
First one or C. Okay. good.
Ma'am, I think both first and second sentence have errors in the 9th one.
What are errors? Let's see.
Companies.
Companies. Okay, first thing, companies who are.
I'm keeping companies which are.
Which
Yeah, which are.
Or
right?
that,
Companies which are or companies that are, both would be correct. So we have it, but it will not be who.
Companies which are in manufacturing.
Hmm.
Would be better.
Ma'am, also it should be in manufacturing.
Okay. Companies that are into manufacturing, particularly in the gems and stones business, would benefit the most from the new scheme. So I
Would be
think
benefited.
into manufacturing would benefit, would be benefited. Now either you say would be benefited or would benefit. Would benefit is also correct. Right? So your main error here is in the first part. So there is only one option over here. That is A. Right? Okay, number 10.
And favoritist is wrong. It should just be favorite.
Favorite subject.
Should be most favorite or my favorite.
Yeah, science is my favorite subject. You would not say most favorite. We usually use most favorite, but that is again redundancy. So when you are saying favorite, that means you like it the most. Then most like it will not be there. So when you are saying favorite, it's just favorite,
Only one.
right?
The last part. If we say would be benefited, we won't use the most in that scenario, right? Would be
Right.
benefited
Most.
Yes.
So here would benefit the most. Right? Okay, now you can do 11 to 15. Yes, everyone can complete 11 to 15.
How do we know if the use of till and until is correct? Like anyone of them can be.
See, if it is continuous, then until. There is something which has been continuing from before. And till usually comes in when you say, okay, there's a stop over there. Till you do this, or till the end, you will not say until the end. Right? So, yeah, it is
So I have
some.
to say that I have a pending assignment. I have it until the next. This is
Till next.
till next. When do we use
So
until?
you can say, like if you are saying, I cannot take a break until I finish this. Right? So like you are doing something and like if something is continuing from before, then you would use until. Okay, so done. Okay, everyone up there done?
Ma'am, 2 more minutes.
Okay. 2 more minutes. Done. Okay, we'll get to the answers. Okay, number 11. Hmm?
B or C?
B or C?
Ma'am, I think it's B because it should be says that the payment can be made.
Okay.
And since it is from continuation, so until won't be it. But they are putting the end to a
No, like the bill that I have says that payment can be made until, so you can make the payment now, you can make the payment later also. So that is the last date, but yes, you can make it. So your until will be okay. So what is wrong over here,
says that. So B option.
right? Says the payment, that the payment, right? So you will do that. No, but if we don't use that, then also it could be correct. But yeah, we would usually use that.
It's like indirect sentence.
Yeah, we can, we use it.
Be that.
Yes.
That.
Okay, number 12.
Ma'am, it should be 2 and not 4.
B option.
I am looking forward to my long-awaited vacation. I am, yeah, when you say looking forward, it's always to. Yeah, looking forward to, not for. So your error is in the second part. Is the second part of the sentence? Okay, number 13.
It should again be 2. The
Mhm.
letter to my business address.
At my business.
Please send the letter on my business address.
Should we add
To my business address.
At either to my business address or at my business. It is usually to my business address. Right? You send it to somebody or to somewhere. Yeah. So this is number 3. Okay, number 14.
Ma'am, it should
Was good enough.
be good enough, yeah.
Good enough. Polling was enough good. Yeah, enough good. Number 15.
B. Say that until it is not.
Number 15, what's the answer? A or B? It says, until he does not own his mistake, he can't realize. So he can't realize his crime, owns his mistake is also fine, until he does not. Yeah? Till he does not. We would rather use till. Yeah?
A option would be correct.
I think A would be.
How is owns his mistake correct? If it owns not own.
Until he does not own. Until, we can still use until because we are continuous thing. Until he does not own his mistake. You're right. The error will be in the second part. Owns, it's not owns his mistake, own his mistake. What the answer is? Okay, now you have 5 more here. Yes? 16 to 20, we can finish on this. You don't have to do it for homework then. So now you can do it a little faster. Concentrate, focus, speed up. Done? No? Yes? Manya, you haven't been responding a long time. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
I would expect you to be a little more responsive. Yeah, come up with answers.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so let's get to the answers. 16, quick.
I asked for.
Pardon? A. I asked for the, right? So the answer will be A. Okay, number 17. No sooner than, right? Not when. Number 18.
It was he.
17, your answer, the mistake is when. So the third part, right? Okay, number 18, yes.
It was he.
A.
It was he.
It was he.
You will, yeah, right? You will not say it was him. It will be, it was he who faced all the difficulties, right? Okay, number 19. Pardon?
Of the grave crime.
Here we will not say him. Him becomes possessive. Like you are referring to somebody, and it was he who faced it. He faced. So if you remove it was, how will you use the sentence? Him faced or he faced? He faced, right? If you are in a doubt, break up the sentence. Remove the unnecessary parts. Come to the main part of the sentence, right? Okay, number 19.
Of the grave crime.
Of the grave.
Yeah, not to the grave crime of the grave crime. Number 20.
The
Abiding.
abiding.
Abiding, right? So these were quite easy, right? Now we get to the ones which are a little heavier, little more difficult. So if you see, if you get these type of questions, see maybe you'll get at least 2 of them or 3 of them. Yeah. So these you can do very fast, less than 30 seconds. Save up on them. Yeah, so you can easily save up on time when you are doing the era spotting questions. Era spotting, usually you do 2 to 3 of them. Okay, now here, read the instructions carefully and see what are they wanting you to do. So even if you don't read the instructions, yeah, but always remember to read the instructions because they may come up with a new set of instructions. But usually when you have something on the mind, it means that you have to improve on it or it would be correct. So you can do number 1 to 5 here.
I'm sorry, can you please repeat?
Yeah, sorry if you can't hear me properly. So you can do exercise 2, questions 1 to 5. But remember to read the instructions no matter what. It'll take about a few seconds to read. And then you solve 1 to 5 and then we'll get to the answers. So I have to check the answers. Let me know when you're done with 5.
Yes, ma'am, finished.
Done? Yes, girls, done? We'll discuss about. Okay, so I hope everyone's done. Sneha, Manya. So let's get to the answers. Number 1.
It's the B option.
Option B. Why? Give me your logic.
Ma'am, because not all competitive exams seems correct to me as compared to other options there.
So did you find any grammatical error here?
Um,
Ma'am, when you are using though, but is not needed, but
Right. So here we have two transitions coming. We are beginning with though and then going on to but. Now here your underlined portion is the first part, so you can't change but, you will change the though. Right? So you will go with not all competitive exams allow the use of a calculator, but where they are permitted. So if you see all of them, every competitive, now if you go with C, every competitive exam does not allow using of calculators. That's also a little weird, right? Every competitor. So we are not talking about like they here it becomes it does not allow using of calculators. So do not is a better option, right? So here it will be B. Okay, now coming to number 2. What's your answer? C. You think B, you have C. Okay, let's see. A2.
I feel like C, the consistent modifier issue that.
Okay.
Because you think anti-democratic right next to critics and you're sure that critics were the ones who were denouncing.
So, okay, let's see who else is there. Adesh, what's your answer?
Ma'am,
Yes,
A.
A. Okay, you have A. Manya, what's your answer?
Ma'am, A as well.
A. Okay, you also say A. Sneha, where are you? Sneha, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
What's your answer?
On C.
C. Okay. So, that is one. Okay. So Nishi, what's your answer? You didn't come up with your answer.
Ma'am, C as well.
Yes. Okay, let's see. Now we have some people with A, some with B, some with C. Quite confusing, right? Okay, let's get to the sentence then. So it says, denouncing it as anti-democratic, the Lobbying Act was slammed by critics, right? Imposing draconian limits on the activities of trade unions. Now here we have two things coming in. One is the anti-draconian laws. Second is the critics. Yeah. Now if we cannot change the first part of the sentence. Yeah. Denouncing it as anti-democratic, that is your modifier. What does that modifier refer to? The critics, right? Who is denouncing? The critics are denouncing. So we need to rewrite it in such a way that the critics are referred to and the noun comes after the modifier, right? So denouncing which option is giving you that? So we will not go with A. No correction is also eliminated. Now between these two, B and C. So between B and C, which one is a better answer?
B.
B? Okay, let's look at B. Critics slammed the Lobbying Act, imposing draconian limits on the activities of trade unions. So critics, again, we are having a problem here. Critics slammed the Lobbying Act and imposing draconian limits. So did the critics impose draconian limits or the laws did? Lobbying Act did. So we have to get a little more clarity to this, right? So if we read C, critics slam the Lobbying Act, which imposes, that brings in clarity. So there's no more confusion. Yeah. So now we put this back to the sentence and read the entire sentence. So read the entire sentence with option C. It says denouncing it as anti-democratic, critics slam the Lobbying Act, which imposes draconian limits on the activities of trade unions. So there is absolute clarity of what the sentence wants to do. Right? So here's where, like, if you are going with A, you know that there's still a modifier error. So all those who have gone with A, you are wrong. Your modifier error is still there. Now, after doing away with the Lobbying Act, what does B do? B is bringing in the critics, but still there is a problem of clarity. If we go with C, the problem of clarity is solved, right? So analyzing between your options is very important. Draconian laws is something which is imposing too many restrictions, which is not acceptable. Yeah. Okay, number 3. So what would be the answer? B.
B.
Yes, Aditya?
B.
B. Okay. Adesh? What's your answer to number 3?
B.
B. So all of you are say B. Ria? Not sure. Okay. Amanya?
I think A.
Answer to number
No
3.
correction.
Yeah, okay. Number 3, you can just do it. I hope you got the explanation to number 2. You were in by the time. Right? Okay, so who else is there? Everyone is gone out. Okay. So Manya, what's your answer to number 3?
Ma'am, B.
B. Okay. Nishi? No idea?
No idea.
Okay. Sneha?
B.
B. Okay, so why do you, those who have got B as the answer, anyone can give me the explanation? Why B?
Because it is while people in the Middle East are elsewhere in the most world, it is more that people are paying in the first one, it is written 10 instead of that. In the second one, it is written that. In the third one,
In the sentence, if it's starting with while, then but is not needed.
Right, that is one big issue. So
And-
we're looking for options and like that.
indeed, it is not, it is.
Yeah.
It's.
It is IT
And
apostrophe
it's it is written
S. So D will be eliminated, right? So you are eliminating D because ITS is there, which is possessive. You eliminate C because but is still there, right? Then you eliminate what else? Like A also you eliminate because you're already saying while. So you will not be using but again. So after you've eliminated A, C, and D, you are left with D. Yeah. If you are confused, then go with elimination. Once you have eliminated the wrong answers, you are obviously left with the right answer. So B says, now you go back to the original sentence and read it with option B. While people in the Middle East have good reason to feel gravely threatened by terrorism, elsewhere in the world, it's more that people are paying greater attention to the terrorist threat than they used to.
it's more that people are making. What is
So presently, people are more aware of it, right? It's more that people are paying attention to.
I don't think I haven't read this page like that. It's more than
Yeah, it's a little complicated, but it's a style of writing, right? But it is grammatically correct. So there is not a problem. Okay. Yeah. You want to break? Okay. It's 12:58 already. Right. So anyone wants a break over there? And if you don't want to break, you can do you can continue with solving the rest of them. So how are you finding the exercises? Doable?
once you take the thoughts,
Right. Logic has to be, that's what is important. Whenever you get to an answer, remember that you have to have your logic. Anyone who wants to use the washroom? No? So can we get back? 5 minutes and everyone's on the mobile.
so much outside.
Okay. Just few more. And I think. So where were we? We're in number 3, right? So number 4. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So what's the answer to number 4? Anybody?
I didn't see
C. Okay. Now read the sentence with C.
Now the sentence they also very for me.
Which one are you talking about? Number 4. Yeah.
And then they also doesn't mean that.
Okay. Let's see.
Like the news, they also there was not only somewhere in the first part is in there.
Okay. Now they also vary from place to place. That part you cannot touch. Yeah. So keeping that intact, you have to look at the first part. Yeah. First part says long-term risk is rarely taken by air quality indices into account. Taken by into account or taken into account by?
Take into account that.
Taken into account by. That would be a better way of saying it, right?
But in the case of modifier, if you look at the second part, they also vary from place to place. So the subject here has to be air quality indices because second part has they.
So air quality indices are rarely taken into account or rarely take into account the long-term risk That is what it is talking about. Yeah, there are two things.
I think A option is correct.
Now, they also vary from place to place. The air quality index varies, or the
Indices.
risk varies.
The indices.
Indices vary, right? So if we say air quality indices rarely take long-term risk into account, they also vary. So here, if you see, the main subject remains air quality indices, right? So if what would you go with? A or now if you look at B, rarely do air quality indices take long-term risk into account. It becomes very complicated. Not really required. So we go with something that is clear and concise, right? So your answer would be A, right? Manya, what's your answer? Yes, Manya, can you come in? Yes, Karmanya, what's your answer to number 4?
Option A.
Option A. Why would you not go with B, C, or D? Now, D, of course, we are seeing that there is an error. So why not B and C?
No, because air quality is the basis. Air quality is the basis. So air quality indices are rarely taken into account.
Yeah, so air quality indices are the ones which are not taking into account the risk. So we'll go with B. That is clear, concise. Okay, number 5.
B.
Huh?
B.
A or B?
B.
Okay. So number 5. My friends on Zoom, what's your answer? Adesh? Number 5.
B.
Okay. Karmanya? Number 5.
Option B.
Option B. Okay. Manya? Manya, what's your answer? Aditya?
Yes, ma'am. B was correct but complicated.
Okay, so now when we look at the sentence, now one thing that may be confusing you is not only. So when you say not only, but also
Not only, but also is
you're comparing. It's comparing, right? So here we are talking about two opposite things. So when you're talking about two opposite things, we will not say but only, not only but also. You would rather go with B, was correct but complicated. We are bringing in a contrast, right? So not only but also will be an additional point. But when we are looking at contrast, we will use only but. So in this case, B will be correct, right? Okay, number 6.
A can also be correct.
A, yes, A can be correct. B, no space. Now we have to look at the context. We are talking about a compartment. Yeah. In a compartment, we will not see space. We will not see place. Seat is very specific.
Option C.
Yeah. So option A will be the best. There was no room in the first compartment. There was no room means there is no space, but it is more specific. Yeah, but here, like this is an idiomatic expression, right? See, now if you look at the sentence, as there was no place in the first compartment, he shifted to the second. Yeah. Now, we don't know which type of train. If you're talking about Mumbai's local train, if you're talking about Mumbai's local train, you won't be looking for a seat. Yeah. So, seat. If we talk about seat, it's going to specific. Yeah. So, if we want to keep it a little general, we would go with no room. That's idiomatically that would be correct. No room is not literally no room, it's idiomatic. So if you talk about idiomatic expressions, you would be saying no room. Like if I say this whole room is full, this whole classroom is full, there's too many people, somebody else wants to come in. So you would say there's no room here, please go to the next class. Yeah, space we can say, but space could be for anything. When you're talking about a person coming into a particular area, you would bet that it would be better to use no room. So here we are talking about sentence improvement, right? So instead of now, if another thing, as there was no space in the first compartment, he shifted. We can say it's not grammatically incorrect, but no room is a better expression, right? So we go with that. Now, these are the type of questions where you may go wrong, right? So now the entire purpose of the test is to see whether you can use language properly or not. So this is one of those questions which is testing your higher ability in language. Okay. So you will be coming across different types of questions. Some will be straightforward, easy. Some will be complicated. You have to be, so here is where your vocabulary, idiomatic expressions, use of idioms will also come in. We'll come to that also slowly. Yeah. 8-1. Okay, we'll come to that. So we are still in 7. Okay, so number 7. AC, okay. What's your answer? To number 7. Yes, Nishi?
Ma'am, I think it's the second option.
B.
Yeah.
Whoever is chosen.
But I doubt because the person could also be a girl who is chosen as a chief. So I don't know. But grammatically, this
Option C.
But anyway, would you use whomever?
Yeah, I know. I won't.
You won't use whomever anyway. So B is anyway eliminated.
It should be whoever.
Whoever.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
it's the C option.
Here the say yes. So who else was giving me an answer? Somebody was giving
C.
Steve. Okay. Okay. So what's your doubt? Who has C as the answer? Number 7. I'll come to that. Okay. So here we have whoever is chosen as the new chief, it is likely. Now, would you say it is likely to continue? In general, you would say he is likely. Now, if you had an option of she is likely, you would go with that. But here we have he is likely, so we would go with he is likely, not who. Huh? Whoever is correct. Okay, indeed is whomever. No, we didn't go with we are going with no, we are going with C. It's not B. It's C. Whoever is chosen as the new chief is likely to continue. Now, it is likely to continue is wrong. He is whomever is also wrong. So we are going by elimination. Right? Now, you know that whoever is correct, but it is not correct, right? So between the two of them, A is eliminated. We don't want they because we are talking about singular. Now B is eliminated. It says whomever. We come to C. We can eliminate it or E and still the sentence is correct, right? So we don't need that word. Whoever is chosen as a new chief is likely to continue. That would be a better way of saying it. It also removes some sort of redundancy here, right? Okay. Now coming to number 8. So what's your answer for 8?
No correction.
No correction. And some people said C.
Ma'am, because all the options present in the like A, B, and C, all of them are incorrect in some or the other way. So it's got to be D.
They're all incorrect. So B. Now, first we analyze the, now we say no correction required. We first analyze the given sentence. The cricketer whose record is exemplary backed an 8-year endorsement contract with the Sportsman Giant. Now here, whose record is exemplary is an additional information modifier, and it is correctly placed, right? So as such, we don't find any error. Now we go on to see whether something improves on it or not, right? Now whose record, WHO apostrophe S, eliminated, right? Now B also has WHO apostrophe S, eliminate, we don't need to read further. C says whose record is exemplary, back and 8 years endorsement. Yeah, years is wrong. So all of them have some error or the other. We have no correction. Okay. Yes, Riya, you had a doubt in this or number 9? 9. Okay, now it's clear. Okay. So number 9.
B of D.
9. No correction. B.
I think it's B option.
B. Okay. Karmanya, what's your answer to 9?
No idea.
No correction. D.
Have you tried it?
It's D. No correction.
No correction, D. Okay, let's see whether it's no correction. Okay, so it says whether or not the rumors are true is besides the point. Now here is a little confusion. Have you read it correctly? Whoever said no correction? Besides, what do you mean by besides?
In addition to.
In addition to.
It should be beside.
Yeah, beside would mean like there are 2 ways you can say beside, that is something which is next to or other than. Right? Besides, now here what do we have? Beside the point. Besides is not this, you're going with something else. Yeah. And beside the point, what would that mean? Like in option B, you have the rumors are true is beside the point.
Yes, ma'am. It's the correct option.
Yeah. Beside the point is no matter what. That's how you can use it idiomatically. Here again, we don't go with the literal meaning of the word, but it is the idiomatic expression that comes. Right? So it is, now if you see whether or not the rumors are true is besides the point. So would you use beside or would you use besides? Yes, Aditya?
Yes, ma'am, beside the point.
Besides or beside?
Beside.
Beside the point. So your option would be
B.
correct? Okay. So number 10.
C.
Yes, ma'am, C, because it's a hypothetical situation. So were and would should both come.
Were and would.
Yeah.
So if I were the minister, the prime minister of the country, I would. Right? So your answer is C. That's the only answer which is giving you the correct options. Right? So I think more or less you are getting more answers correct, less doubts, right? Okay. Now, if you look at exercise 3, I think 3, 4, 5 you can do on your own, right? They're all sentence correction exercises, and these you will be trying yourself, right? So say you take this exercise 3. Now there are 10 questions. 10, 11, 13, 15. Okay, 15 questions here. So maybe you can divide them. So you do 10 questions. How much time for 10 questions?
5 minutes.
5 minutes, right? And if you are taking more than 5 minutes, you know that you have to think faster, act faster. Yeah. So maybe the first 10 questions you do, you may take a little more than 5 minutes. The next 10 questions you do, you will take less than 5 minutes. Now, say you do the first 10, then go to the next 5 and take 5 questions from the next exercise also. Because when you are doing your exam, you'll get a mix of all the types of questions. Yeah. So exercise 3, 4, 5, you'll be doing for homework. Right? Now, what we are going to do right now is that we are talking about root words. Right? So, is it visible? Yes, those on the Zoom, can you see the new PDF?
No, ma'am.
No, it's not there. This is something extra you can write down. I can share with you later. Okay. I think you can see it now.
Yes, ma'am, visible.
Huh? Okay, help me. I can't move it this way. It's getting covered actually. I wanted to shift it a little bit. And do it like this one, so you can do that. Thank you. Okay, so we were talking about vocabulary, and you said if there are difficult words, how do we get to know the meaning? Right? I was talking about root words. So here is a list of root words, some words I have put down. Now, words are usually derived from certain roots, right? It may be Latin, it may be Spanish, it may be Greek, it may be any sort of word, right? You can come this side. One of you come here. Yeah? Okay, so like if you have ever participated in or at least watched spell bee, right? They break down the words into root words and then they get to the spelling and the meaning. Yeah, so something like that. Now say you have or and in front of a word. Yeah. So usually it means not or without. Not all words, but some of them, right? So say we have abyss or abysmal. So something that is without a bubble or it is something gross. Yeah. Abysmal is something which is unending. Right?
How is it possible to share this?
I'll share this. Yeah, actually, I haven't been added to the list. I'll do that. I'll share all the extra material that we use. I share. Okay, so now
Session is this.
achromatic. Chromatic is what? Chrome. Chrome means color. Chromatic would be color. Achromatic would be something that doesn't have color. Right? Now, anhydrous, break the word down. Hydrous relates to water. Anhydrous without water. Right? So even if you break down the words, you get to the meaning. Say you don't know it. Break it down, you get some clue to the word. Right? Acro. Acro, you know, acrobatics. Right? Acro would be relating to height. Right? So acrobat would be a person who walks on a rope or something, high walker. Acronym. You know what an acronym is? Short form, you use alphabets to make a word. So if you see just the top or the first letters. So the most important letters gets to acronym. Nym refers to words. Yeah. Acrophobia. Phobia means fear. Acrophobia. Acro means height. So acrophobia, fear of heights. Right? Now agri refers to farming, agriculture. So agriculture, you know, management of land or farming. Agribusiness would be business related to agriculture. Agrarian, we say agrarian economy, right? Which is based on land or more or less agricultural. Agronomy. Nomy means study of, right? Agro referring to agriculture or land. So study of land in some way, application of soil plant sciences to land. So the science of studying soil, that is agronomy. Now neuralgia. Algia or if you say, that would refer to pain. So if alg is pain and neura means nerves, right? So something to do with nerves, pain caused by nerves or pain of the nerves, right? Analgesic, that is a very common word. Analgesic you take when you have pain, a headache, body ache. So analgesic, gesic would be something which removes. So something that removes pain would be an analgesic, right? Nostalgia. That is, you remember something and say going back in time, going back in memory and having some sort of feeling, right? So Again, algae comes in over here. So a certain, say, emotional pain when you are thinking about the past. So aching for the familiar. That's literally, it translates to that. Okay, now when we come to ambi or amphi. Ambi means both. Or amphi, like you say, amphibians. They live on land and water. So amphi and ambi would be something to do with both. So any word which begins with which is the prefix ambi or amphi, say ambidextrous. Writing with both hands. Yeah. Ambiguous, not clear, having clarity. It can be this and that. Right? Ambivalence. Ambivalence is something that, especially a person who has conflicting feelings towards something. You are ambivalent towards something means you're not sure. You sometimes hate that person, you sometimes love that person. So ambivalence will be conflicting, you're not clear about. And it can also be used as something not having clarity. Right? Ambivert. We say extrovert, introvert, that is towards something. So ambivert is somebody who has both the traits, right? So these are 5 words. We will do a few more. Ami. Ami means love, right? The root word is love. So amiable, you must have come across this. Yeah, it means somebody who is lovable, friendly, pleasant. He has an amiable personality. Yeah. Now amity. There's an amity between the two groups of people or the two parties. Means they are friendly, they're peaceful. Amity between warring groups. So the UN brings about amity between countries. Yeah. So amity would be peaceful or friendly relationships. Amorous. Here also AMO comes in. So something to do with love. Yeah. So it is showing romantic love. That is amorous. So it's a positive word. Another thing, now when you are doing words, try to figure out whether it's a positive word or a negative word. It will not have, because it is something to do. It can go into like somebody has extreme obsession with something, then there will be something with amorous, depending upon the context in which it is. So this is where, when you're talking about the positive or negative words, that is very important when you do fill in the blanks, right? So the context of the sentence, maybe you don't know the meaning of the word, but you can figure out, okay, this seems to be a negative word, or this seems to be a positive word. Or maybe a word is used in the positive sense sometimes, negative sense sometimes, but it can fit into the sentence. So knowing the root word can help you figure out what the word could mean, even if you are not very sure. And now we had and means androgynous. Gynous means reproductive part, right? Andro would mean male. So whenever andro comes in, like you must have studied, if you have studied, yeah, all of you have studied biochem. Yeah. So you have the male part and the female part of the flower. Gyno means, when you're talking about gyne, it refers to the reproductive part, right? So when you say androgynous is the male part, right? Say was a male part of a plant called. It's not andro. Andro would be both. So the fruit is androgynous, or the flower is androgynous, means It has both the male and female parts, right? Android, you all know. It's something, it's like a software which can do something which humans can do. So resembling human. That's what Android will do. Miss Angie. Hatred towards men. Miss Angie. Angie is male. So Miss Angie would be hatred towards men. And Miss Guy, what is the word? Misogamy. Misogamy will hatred towards women. Right? Okay, now you know what anim. Anim would refer to animals. Right? Now if you talk about animate, animal or life, spirit, something that has life. That would be any word that would have anim in the beginning, that's what it would refer to. So if we talk about animal, that's a living organism. Yeah, that's what we call it animal. Animate.
It should be something that is alive.
Yeah, to make something out of you, animate something. So you create an animation, bring it to life, right? Animus. Now, animus is towards somebody, but animus would be a hostile feeling, ill feeling, right? So that again becomes a negative word sometimes, or it may also be like you motivation to do something. That is, you are goaded to do something. That could also come in. Equanimity. Equa means equal. Now, anim, something to do with life or spirit. Equanimity is balance of spirit. There's an equanimity in the thought process of all the people in the group. We can use it that way, right? Okay, and ANN, like as an anniversary, it refers to time or date. Yeah, say anniversary once a year, a date that comes once a year. Annual, again once a year. Biannual, bi means twice, annual is an millennium, again with emium, years, millennium is 1,000 years, right? Anything that begins with an or has an somewhere, that would refer to a period of time, right? Okay, we'll just do about a few more. Anthro refers to human, right? Say anthropology would be study of humankind. Anthropomorphism. Now, morphism means to change something. Yeah. So anthropomorphism would be to change something to human form, right? So giving human form to non-human things, that is anthropomorphism. Yeah. Okay, now philanthropy, that is a very common word we come across. Yes. Social service, that is doing good towards human beings. Here also human comes in. Yeah, doing good towards human beings and loving humankind. Okay, anti, opposite. Yeah, so antibody, anticlimax, antiseptic, which is acting against infection, antisocial, not social, against social. Yes, right? Okay, now belly or bell. You must have come across rebel, common word. Yeah. So bell means something that is warring or fighting. Right? Bellicose is warlike. You will come across these words. Belligerent means hostile. something doing, working against something or ready to fight. Right? So belligerent, if you think it seems like a positive word, it's not. Rebel, a person who opposes. Right? Now, bi, you know, that is easy, twice. Yeah. So bilateral, binocular, biathon, biannual, these are common words. So we do just one more. Bibli. Bibli refers to book, right? So if you talk about bibliology, so literature or doctrine of the Bible. Bibliography, list of books, yeah, which is a source. So what is the bibliography? When you write a paper, you have to give the bibliography, right? Bibliomania. Mania comes in, so some sort of phobia, right? So extreme love for books. Mania is something you, when you talk about mania, it's different from phobia is fear. Mania is when you are very possessive about something, extreme possession. So extreme love for books. Bibliophile, person who loves books, right? Now, one last word, bio. Bio refers to living matter or life. So if you say biosphere, biography, biodegradable, and everything which refers to some way to life, right? So these are our words today. Every day maybe we'll do about 5 to 10 words. So that take you away from grammar or the boring things that seem boring. Because grammar always seems boring, right? More interesting than this. So if you see the words are not very difficult to know, yeah, break them up. You'll get to the root. You'll get to some more difficult ones later. So okay, so then that's it for today. I'll see you next Sunday. Yeah. So today I think you're having only maths test or both maths and English. Okay. So did you speak to
So
someone?
I do both the test. If I have studied for both, I think it's not. That's not.
Where do you stay?
I see 11 seconds.
Okay.
If you come by my side,
Right side, okay.
you got space my side. So I have to walk all the way home and then come back again.
Okay. So everyone, okay, so now everyone, you will do your homework. Remember, anyone who says I've forgotten to do my homework will be out of my class. Right? And you will do, I'll give you extra exercises to do, and you'll sit here and do after that.
What's the homework? Those 3 exercises.
Right. And whatever is pending from before. You have to see what is pending.
Yeah.
And the homework is chapter 10, right?
Yeah. Session 10, the ones that exercise 3, 4, 5, which we didn't do. And while you do your homework, remember to time yourself. That is important. Yeah. And write down whatever doubts you have. Mark it, write it down. We'll discuss in another session. Okay. Okay then. Thank you for today.
Ma'am, odd man out is also homework, right?
Odd by now, yes, you can do the first 5,
Okay.
right? So odd by now you will do slowly because that requires a lot of vocabulary. Right? So you can do that over a period of time. So 5 or at a time, or if you can manage, you can do more. Up to you.
Okay, ma'am.
Right?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay then. Yes, please.